Usopp, Nami, and Chopper, also known as Nose, Breasts, and Money Printing Mascot. Together, these three characters form a holy trinity lovingly dubbed by fans as the Weakling Trio. But this trio are about to get a whole lot not weak. Stronger, I think, is the word I was looking for. Hello and welcome to the Grand Line Review, your source for everything One Piece. My name is Liam, and to be fair, Usopp would probably beat me in a fight, as would Chopper, but the worst would be Nami, because she would beat me and then make me pay for said beating. And whilst I'm sure there's a market for that kind of thing out there, we're here to explore a thankfully different idea. Because these three neglected Straw Hats, rather ironically, probably hold the greatest potential for wild upgrades within the crew. You have your magical weather sorceress, your genius weapons engineer, and your cute little fluffy drug-addicted doctor. Together, there is nothing they can't accomplish. And apart, well, there are some things they can't accomplish, but they're still relatively good at stuff. So let's take a peek at what said stuff will be. And it's all going to begin with a quick round of Weak Sauce, a very simple minigame, the rules of which are as follows. Usopp, Nami, and Chopper have each come out with their own line of condiments, and it is going to be your job to guess which of the three Luffy chooses to slather on his meat. Maybe I shouldn't have said meat, that sounds a bit sexy, so let's try something else. And it's going to be your job to guess which of the three Luffy chooses to slather on his meal. That's better. Now, should you guess incorrectly, then your punishment will be to subscribe to the Grand Line Review, thus resulting in consistent injections of One Piece culture being administered directly into your YouTube feed. And if you are correct, then you will get to chug the sauce of your choosing. But which sauce will it be? Usopp Ketchup Star, Nami's Mikan Delight, or Chopper's Chili Cheese and Cranberry? Probably a sauce better suited to a reindeer tongue, but there we go. So make your choice now and we shall reveal the answer in 3, 2, 1, and bam, it is Usopp's Ketchup Star, because that was the first one said and Luffy didn't bother listening to the other two. So if you guessed incorrectly, then you know the thing to do, and please do say hi in the comments below if you are a new member of the Grand Fleet. Welcome. But now, to the Weakling Trio. It should be said that this is not an official designation. Much like the Monster Trio, it was completely fan-made, however, it is also completely canonically accurate. Now, in terms of punch fighting, you can divide the Straw Hats into 3 tiers. At the very top is the Monster Trio, where you find your Luffys, your Zufis, and your Sufis. Below them are the Mid-Hat Pirates, the ones capable in combat but who don't quite stack up to the monsters. These would be your Garden Variety Robins, your Assembly Line Frankies, and your Pile of Bones in a Bush Brook. I say bush because he's probably hiding in them in order to panty watch, which is kind of like bird watching, except you're looking for underwear with your no eyes. Etc. Now, where Jinbei fits into this scheme is, it's arguable. He could potentially form a monster quartet. However, what is inarguable is the bottom tier, our Weakling Trio, who you can see rather adorably here depicted cowering from even the mere suggestion of combat. Something that has even been confirmed by Oda in regards to Usopp, because in an interview for One Piece 10th Treasures, he said, "I hope Usopp will continue being the weakest Straw Hat member no matter who joins the crew in the future." So there you go, when it comes to power scaling, Usopp is power failing. That's not really the point of the Weakling Trio though, and just because they don't get to excel at punch fighting doesn't make them any less important. In fact, aside from Luffy himself, they are arguably more important than any other member of the Straw Hats, because they are the technically skilled supports. The crew immediately sinks without Nami, they all die of disease and injuries without Chopper, and without Usopp, very importantly, the crew do not get haircuts, leaving their scalps rather unkempt and unsightly. That's right, Usopp is canonically the crew's hairdresser. I am not joking about that. But a better example of Usopp's value comes from the non-canon source of One Piece Stampede. Without Usopp's support, Luffy flat out would have lost to Douglas Bullet. And even within canon, we have a similar instance with Nami, where Luffy would have almost certainly been defeated by Cracker, were it not for our weather sorceress making his biscuits rather moist, and therefore easier but much less satisfying to eat. I should say that they're also very good crowd sweepers. Nami's lightning and Usopp's pop greens in particular are very good at cleaning up fodder, but then again, Luffy is a man who can knock 50,000 people unconscious with a singular burst of Conqueror's Haki, but you know, if he's like asleep or eating or wanking, then the Weakling Trio can step in and perform a similar role. But this is why I feel like we often have a lot of unfair expectations placed onto these characters, because so many fans want Usopp, Nami, and Choppy Boy to have these spectacular 1v1 fights like they used to back in the good old days, but that kind of defeats the idea of the Weakling Trio. In the New World era, when we're doing stuff like fighting against the strongest crews in the world, they are much better utilized supporting someone else or even supporting each other, because gone are the days where our enemies would consist of a mole and a sea urchin, and present are the days where our enemies consist of terrifyingly powerful ancient dinosaurs. What would you rather fight, a mole or a Pachycephalosaurus? I await your answers in the comment place. However, this is not a resignation. My word things do not mean that the Weakling Trio can never grow. On the contrary, because they are still so phenomenally weak, they have nowhere to go but up. And let's start with with Nami because alphabetically she is first. Apart from Chopper. Oh wow, my brain was not working when I wrote that. In another series, Nami has the potential to become one of the most powerful beings this world has ever seen, and maybe even still in this one. I say this quite a bit, but Nami is still the Straw Hat who has the single most powerful attack at her disposal, which is the Zeus Breeze Tempo. With this, Nami can conjure a blast of lightning that rivals the skills of Thunder God Enel himself. To be fair, a lot of that power does come from Zeus, but again, this is why the weakling trio works best in combination with others. Remember, this attack was so devastating that the Big Mom Pirates assumed it was Charlotte Linlin herself who had performed it. So Nami's potential with Zeus is nigh on infinite. With this here happy little cloud, who was named after a rather scary big god thing, who had a habit of turning into animals to have sex with mortal women, because Greek mythology is weird, and to be clear, the sex wasn't particularly consensual. But with this cloud by her side, Nami could become the closest thing we have to another Enel. In fact, she may even be able to surpass his abilities, by which I don't mean necessarily in terms of raw lightning power, but through versatility in other areas. We focus on lightning a lot, but what about the rest of the weather? Nami can create both heat, cold, and wind, which is actually three things, and therefore the use of the word both is very inaccurate, badly and bad, but it's been said now. But what is stopping Nami from taking those things to the next level? Instead of slightly chilling the air, why don't we go full Brook and start freezing things? Instead of a tornado tempo, how about we just conjure a tornado? And instead of a heat ball, why don't we strike someone with searing heat in the balls? And the crazy part is that is not even the full extent of what she can do. Nami can also easily conjure mirages, and look, I've seen Naruto. Clones are very helpful, especially the sexy ones. So how about a bit more of that? Conjuring hundreds of Mirage Namis. Although that likely wouldn't work so well against those with trained observation haki, so yeah. But something that we very rarely see is that Nami can also produce sky clouds, which hold similarly endless potential for innovation. Innovation that we realistically will probably never see. But what I can guarantee is that there will be an upgrade, particularly to the Climattact itself. This here item is a Nami Usopp fusion weapon, and as both of them grow in their respective specialties of weather and tinkering, this item continues to evolve and become more powerful. So now that Nami has a Zeus, you'd better believe that she'll have some ideas to make her magic stick even more OP. And Usopp will do the things that she wants because he does not want to be punched. Speaking of Usopp, he has similar potential going forward. Everything I said about Nami in regards to weather applies to Usopp with engineering, and something that has always interested me is the potential of an Usopp Frankie project. Those two feel like a very natural combination for bringing dangerously wacky ideas to life. And as for where Usopp will get such ideas, well, he does have this slight obsession with giants, which is interesting because the warriors of Elbaf are so at odds with Usopp's style of combat. However, let's just hold on here because there is one weapon that could invoke the true brutal spirit of Elbaf, being my personal favorite of the Usopp arsenal, the Usopp Hammer. I always love it when he whips out this giant hammer because it just looks so damn cool, and the enemies always soil their pants in fear. But what if we could bring the Usopp 5, 10, or even 20-ton hammer to life? It seems like the sort of thing that might be accomplishable with the science of Frankie on our side, like perhaps the hammer is made of Wapo metal like General Frankie and can shapeshift into program states. And then just imagine Usopp's next battle. He whips out the hammer, the opponent laughs like this, because they know that the hammer is fake, and then bam, they get hit in the face with a real giant hammer because it's not fake, not this time. It'd also be another case of Usopp's lies coming true. He's lied about having this super heavy hammer for most of the series now, so if we're staying on trend with Nostradamus, then this hammer absolutely needs to exist one day. However, Usopp does have other avenues of development, specifically with observation haki. It may not be the path of future sight, but observation has multiple areas of specialty that one can access. And for someone who is very much defined as a sniper, some advanced observation haki seems pretty schmickety-doo. Whatever that means. Now as for Chopper, he's been a bit neglected in this video thus far, very much like post-time skip One Piece in general, but he's actually kind of difficult in this discussion because Chopper has already pushed his abilities to a pretty incredible level. No, it's not been verbally confirmed, but he has 100% awakened his Zoan Devil Fruit with Monster Point, and I think his future potential lies, much like the others, in collaboration. Chopper has the continued potential to augment his abilities with the help of the Rumble Balls, and coming across individuals like Caesar Clown has also proved very beneficial for his enhanced combat prowess. And is there a sharp scientific mind that we have yet to meet in the One Piece? Well, that would be the V-Man himself, Dr. Vegapunk. But I also wouldn't count Chopper out from learning from his experiences with Queen. If Chopper somehow got access to Queen's research materials, then he could equip himself with all kinds of useful knowledge. His monster point is also based on Wendigos, which are terrifying yet intriguing. Because Wendigos are known to grow bigger with each consumption of a human. And taking away the human eating thing, which for Chopper would be semi-cannibalism, taking that unpleasantness away is our solution simply that he finds a way to get even bigger. Although that does sound more like the Luffy solution. You know, my punches aren't hurting him. Aha! I will make a bigger punch. If Chopper was the main character of One Piece, I would have no doubt that at some stage, he'd make a rumble ball allowing him access to some sort of complete point, where he gets the advantages of every other point, all wrapped rather neatly into one hell of a hardcore drug cocktail. And I should do the PSA now, if you are a young child watching this, please do not do drugs in order to get stronger. Take the Zoro route instead. Train hard every day and drink copious amounts of alcohol every night. Personally, what I would love to see in the future is a fight involving the entire weakling trio. We've seen Usopp team up with Chopper, and we've seen Nami team up with Usopp. But what happens with all three? Well, after they finish soiling themselves with fear, they will kick into action. And with the combined genius knowledge of weather, engineering, and science, what opponent can't they defeat? Someone with like really strong haki. But other than that, who can't they defeat? As an author, Eiichiro Oda has so many outs with the weakling trio. Their skills are so potent and diverse that each of them almost acts as their own Deus Ex Machina. If Nami can't conjure literal sorcery, then Usopp could build a gadget or a pop green suited for any situation. And if Usopp can't do that, then arms out everyone, because it's time for Chopper to manipulate our bodies in any way, shape, or form that fictional science deems necessary. They have so much potential, and even if they'll inevitably probably stay on the sidelines, I'm still looking forward to their development in the future. Just as you should be looking forward to this next video, because there's always more to learn, explore, and experience with this wonderful series, so I look forward to seeing you there.